Have you ever had any close calls when you're in the cockpit?
Yeah, I mean, every pilot that flies for, what did I fly for, 50 years, has had different kind of close calls. Um, and they come in different flavors. If you're in a Navy jet, the close calls are different than if you're in a light airplane flying over the mountains. Um, and I'll just tell you about one. I was flying a small aircraft, a four-seat aircraft, over the mountains in Southern California, from Fresno over to Ridgecrest, over the mountains at night, and the engine quit, and I had to dead stick the airplane on a very dark night into a landing in the desert. Um, that one sticks out as particularly close.
Yeah.
There are others in the jet, near misses with surface to air missiles and things like that, nearly clipping ridges on night low level ingresses and things like that.
Gosh.
Um, it's a
Wow.
life of a lot of memories, let's say.
Yeah. And a lot of close calls, it sounds like. Well, but I remember just from pilot training on my own time, one of the first things that they have you do is try to make the engine stall. That's just like early pilot training. And so it seems like they're consistently preparing you for those situations when you're not going to be able to maybe land normally. So,
Yeah, well, when you say engine stall, I think of a couple things. Often, an engine stall is confused with an aircraft wing stall. I know as an early pilot, you'll practice wing stalls, which means you get
okay.
too
So,
slow. But you also, as an early pilot, practice engine failures and gliding down to land. So both of those are quite relevant.
yeah, yeah. And you want to get some practice because it will probably happen.
I think if you live long enough, if you fly long enough, it will happen. Yes.
mm, mm. Give my heart a little bit of a flutter there because dead sticking into the desert in the middle of the night, that doesn't sound even remotely pleasant.
It was uh, it was a very memorable experience, let's just say, and I was quite lucky that I didn't hit anything because I just descended into the blackness um, and happened to land. I happened to know about where the ground was, and so I began to slow the aircraft down. We touched down and happened to roll out and miss all the obstacles that were out there.
Well, that's incredibly lucky.